we in it. There is a word for God in the Vedas called Brahman. This word Brahma means big. Big. How big? Infinitely big. That is God. That is Allah. That is Ikonkar. However, Brahma has another meaning as well. Brahma is He who makes others big. In other words, He is not a miser, I am big and you remain small. His goal is to make all of us big. And that is why the Bible also says, be ye perfect even as your Father in heaven is perfect. It's not that He is perfect and I will be a sinner. But your goal is to become perfect like He is perfect. That is why Swami Vivekananda put it so well. When he said, these prophets were not unique. They were human as you and I. And they had attained super consciousness. And you and I can do the same. The very fact that one person attained that state indicates that all people can do so. And that ultimately is religion. What is religion? Any religion. It is a means of making you perfect like God Himself is perfect. So the purpose of your life is to keep growing, to keep evolving, to keep improving. We must not miss this bus that the human form has afforded us. I am reminded of a person who went to the Hyderabad railway station and he was to catch the train, the East Coast Express. However, he had about 20 minutes. The train had not yet come to the platform. So how do you spend your time on the railway station? There are limited options. Either you drink chai or you check your weight. There are these weighing machines. He got onto the weighing machine and he put a coin there. The weighing machine showed all the lights and dispensed a ticket. The ticket has the weight and also a little forecast of your future. So he read it. The weighing machine had printed, your name is Ramesh Srivastav. Your weight is 55 kgs and you are waiting for the 220 Coromandel Express. So he said, my God, how did the weighing machine know all this? I am astonished. I just can't believe this. There's some miracle happening here. But he got off the weighing machine and he adjusted his tie and suit and again got on the weighing machine. And again he put his coin. The weighing machine again went clink clonk, and dispensed a second ticket. The ticket said, your name is still Ramesh Srivastav. You still weigh 55 kgs and you are still waiting for the 220 Coromandel Express. He said, I just can't believe this is too much. How is the weighing machine coming to know this? So he decided he needs to fool the weighing machine. In his bag, he was carrying a change of dress. He went into the washroom. He changed his dress. He combed his hair. He even changed his tie. And then he came back and he again stood on the weighing machine. He put a third coin in. Again the weighing machine went clink clonk and dispensed a ticket. With great eagerness, he lifted it up. The ticket said, "Your name is still Ramesh Srivastava, and your weight is still 55 kgs. But you have missed the 220 Coromandel Express." So, if we did not consciously try to grow, to evolve, to improve, then our life is in the danger of missing the train, of missing the very purpose of life, to become better, to do better, and to feel better. And how do you tap into that? You see, this growth, like I said, is a constant process. It's a question of not becoming complacent in your situation. The Japanese have a term for it called Kaizen. Kaizen. Kaizen, some of you may have heard, constant improvement. It's a Japanese term. In other words, they do something and then they sit back and think, how can I do it better the next time? This mentality was not there in the Japanese in the beginning. When I was a little child, over 50 years ago, I used to hear from my father about the olden days when Japanese goods were notorious for bad quality. So he used to say, India would get flooded with Japanese goods. They would be sold in baskets. But they had such terrible quality. And then suddenly things changed. During the Second World War, where America defeated Japan by dropping the bombs in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, subsequently, Japan had lost the war. So America sent a general to Japan called MacArthur to remake Japan. At that time, the Japanese cars were of third-class quality. But he instilled in them the spirit of doing better every time, of improving yourself, of not remaining contented at where you are. The consequence, slowly the quality of Japanese cars went further and further and further, until today they are famous around the world for the best quality. If you go around America, you will find that the Japanese cars have replaced the American cars. Detroit, which was the mecca of the automobile industry of America, is now a ghost town. I was once giving a lecture in Detroit, and one factory was being salvaged and turned into dust. I asked the person who was driving me, "What is this?" He said, "Swamiji, this is the ex-factory of the Ford Motor Corporation." The same happened to Chrysler, the same happened to Chevrolet, etc. They all started sliding. And why did this take place? Because they could not stand up to the competition of the Japanese cars. Why? The Japanese commitment to quality. So, when I was being driven to the Marigold Hotel today, Divakar, my devotee here, he said, "Swamiji, my car, it has already done 100,000 miles. So I saw that Honda. I said, "You made a good decision to take a Japanese car. What is 1 lakh miles?" So why did Japan build this reputation for excellence? Because they refused to compromise. We have to break against the laziness that is inherent in us. Alasyam hi manushyanam sharirastho mahamrituho. The biggest disease, the biggest affliction in the human body is not diabetes, is not BP, is not arthritis. Alasyam, laziness. What is the laziness? I know what should be done, but who will put on the effort? This laziness separates us from success. Those who reach success are the ones who throw away the laziness, who don't spare themselves, and who put in the best efforts. That is why the saying goes, the famous English poet wrote, the lives of great men were not made by sudden flight, but while their friends slept, they were toiling upwards in the night. So if you wish to commit yourself to the highest standards, we have to overcome this natural mentality for laziness. This is the nature of the human body, homeostasis. The body maintains its temperature at 98.6 degrees or 98.4 because the chemical processes are designed for that temperature. And in the same way, whatever our beliefs, whatever our standards, we want to live in that. Kaun parishram kare chodo. So this compromise that we make, even though we are capable of more, is what prevents us from manifesting our full potential. In northern Canada, now imagine how cold Canada is. Recently I had a spiritual shibir in our headquarters in Odisha, Cuttack. And some devotees had come from Andhra as well. And some had come from Delhi. So I asked them, how is the weather here? Those from Andhra said it's very cold. Those from Delhi said it's very hot. You see, because above Andhra is Odisha, above that is Delhi. So colder than Delhi is North America, and colder than that is Canada. And imagine North Canada, how cold it will be. The saying goes that there are just two seasons in Canada. One is winter and one is July. The only time when there is no winter is July. All 11 months is winter. So when the summer actually comes for this 1 month, the snow melts and the ground becomes slushy. So at that time, cars, when they drive by the countryside, they create these tracks. And very quickly, the water freezes again to make ruts in the snow. And these ruts continue for 20-30 miles. So I have heard that in North Canada there are moles in the villages. Be careful about this rut that you choose, because you will remain in it for the next 20 years, 20 miles. So in the same way we fall into this rut and think, I can never do better. But we can all do better, because we have an engine inside us. What is this engine? That is our soul nature, our divine nature. There was one person in northern Karnataka, in the tribal area. He discovered a gold mine under his property. He discovered a diamond mine. So overnight, he became a multi-billionaire. Now he was an illiterate villager. He purchased a a Rolls Royce and he brought it to his Adivasi village. Now, he was very good natured and he would move around the village in his Rolls Royce. He would drive it through the village, Adivasi village bazaar, and with great affection speak to his fellow villagers, because now he had become a billionaire. But even while sitting in the car, he would turn around and speak to them on the left and then on the right. And sometimes he would turn all the way around and speak to people. Yet his car never had an accident. Do you know why? Because he never used to turn on the ignition. He had two horses that were pulling his car. The Rolls Royce had a 98 HP, 98 horsepower engine inside. But this man did not know. He was using the two horses on the outside to pull the car. Similarly, when we say, I can only be this good, our beliefs are limiting us. We need to dismantle such beliefs. For all of us, the sky is the limit. That is the design of this creation. So don't cripple yourself by your own false beliefs. अरे भाई दूसरे तो बहुत बढ़िया है, मैं ऐसा नहीं हो सकता. If you make such a belief, you will never improve. In southern Odisha, by the boundary of now is it what, Telangana or Andhra and Odisha, there's one district, Gajapati district, which has a huge hill called Mahendragiri. And by the side of it are elephant trainers. So they catch these elephants when they are little babies and train them and then sell them off. When I drove by there, I found these huge elephants. They were tied by a rope on their leg with a peg to the ground. This huge elephant is tied to a little peg to the ground with a rope. I was amazed because our ashram, sometimes the elephant walks in from the forest and it does not bother about the boundary wall. All it does is place its foot there and the wall goes crashing down. And then it goes to eat the gopis and comes out. I said, wow, how come you have tied these elephants to a peg with a little rope? It can pull out a tree. He said, Swamiji, when this elephant was a little baby, it was weak. At that time, we tied it with a rope to the peg. So when it got conditioned, if there is a rope around my leg and there is a peg, then I can never yank it out. I am tied, I am not free. It kept on growing, but that belief remained in it. The poor elephant could be the king of the forest, and yet it is a servant of man because of its limiting beliefs. In the same way, there is a 98 horsepower engine inside you, given to you by God. And if you decide not to turn on the ignition switch, then you will limit yourself to the 2 horsepowers outside. So the knowledge then is that all of creation is designed to help you become perfect one day as God is perfect. So never compromise, always try harder, always move on. That ultimately is the goal of life. And always strive to be the best person you can be. Always strive to do the best you can do. And always strive to be truly happy and peaceful from inside. With these words, I will bring this program to a conclusion. Thank you all very much. Once again, I would like to thank the organizers. I would like to thank Nandkumarji and all the dear friends who are here from the Digital and Technical Services Group and from anywhere else, JKO devotees who came to know of this program and who have come to attend. It was a pleasure to share some divine words of wisdom with all of you. A few announcements before I hand the mic to you. Firstly, this is a limited session, and if you are interested in more such knowledge, we have uploaded it for your benefit onto YouTube. So, utilizing today's technology, you can access it at your convenience. You must have received the pamphlets that have been given out. This is the Happiness Challenge, a set of 21 videos, each of 5 to 6 minutes duration, to tell you how to be truly happy and how to be truly successful. Each video is only 5 to 6 minutes, and it will give you something to help you manage your mind, a mind management tool. So do take a look at them. Plus, if you are one of the high-tech people of today, you can follow us on any of the popular platforms, whether they are Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Slidestream, SoundCloud, YouTube, or you can download our app, the JKO app on your mobile, or you can subscribe for our WhatsApp service. So on the Stay Connected form, there's a little slide where if you put down your phone number, we'll add you to our WhatsApp service and send you every day a divine message of inspiration. And if you would like our e-magazine as well, you can share your email. We'll send you every month an e-magazine called Sumiran. We also have a program called Daily Sadhana for those who are sincere.